All right, we're gonna do 3 videos. One from Legion of Men, and 2 of them are Levi Nicks. I'm very curious about this one. Passport Passport Rose Simps ruin everything. Now this should be a.
All right, dude. So, hiring a maid in the Philippines, the real costs, red flags, and what nobody tells you by said woman. Making that face. Obviously, gaming the system for exactly the guys in here that wants to see this.
I know what you're
Yep.
thinking. You didn't trade your snow shovel or your 9 to 5 grind for a life in the tropics just to spend your Saturday mornings scrubbing a toilet or wrestling with a mountain of laundry in 90-degree humidity. Back home, hiring full-time help is something reserved for the one percenters or people with a literal staff. So, for a lot of you moving here, the idea of having a maid feels,
Her English
well,
is very
it
good.
feels a bit Downtown Abbey, doesn't it? It's awkward. You're thinking, do I tip? Do I eat with them? And am I allowed to walk to the fridge in my boxers? Here's the reality.
She has
In
the
the
mouth of a
Philippines, having a
largemouth
kasambahay, our
bass.
Tagalog word for household help, isn't a luxury. It's the engine that keeps the middle class running. But for an expat, it's also a total minefield, and I've seen guys lose their best helpers over a $20 misunderstanding, and I've seen others get ghosted because they didn't understand the local culture of saying yes when they really mean no. Today, we're stripping away the sugarcoating from the
I've also seen, if you please, link me. I don't even know what channel it is. The new conservative whore that has come out. She's constantly sitting with like her legs are up here, you know. She's always showing her her axe wound. And guys are, yeah, the spread legs chick. I was waiting for that. When is a conservative going to just go full on whore and start talking about conservative pie? I told you guys, dude, you wanted to know the easiest shit. Be a conservative woman that's somewhat attractive. Just so show your vag while you're talking. Good. She nailed it. Done. She's the first, won't be the last. She's already popular. Everyone's talking about her. Great.
Yep.
Be black and just be a conservative. Talk shit against black degeneracy. You're going to make it, bro. Piss a lot of people off. It's the truth, and it's the correct truth, historically speaking, right? History will look back on you and go, he tried to make his community better, but it pisses people off today because degeneracy is all we want to see. So, conservative whores that are pretty and black conservatives in general. Now we just need some based Asians and based Hispanics, right? Imagine you're Hispanic and you're pro-ICE and you're out in the streets calling La Imigra on everyone's ass, right? ICE is coming. It's you. You're calling your video self. Look at these illegal Mexicans here, giving Mexicans a bad name. And he's just calling ICE and getting them round up. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué pasa, mi hombre? I'm calling ICE. Where's your papers? That guy's illegal. Amazing. Amazing. I'm telling you.
actual 2026 legal rates and mandatory benefits to the red flags that should have you showing them to the door. This is the Real Talk Guide to Hiring Help in the Philippines. Grab a coffee or a beer, I won't tell, and let's get into the details. Hiring help, and if you want to navigate expat life without losing your sanity or your favorite shirt, hit that subscribe button and join the community. We're building something real here.
I wish no
Now,
one
let
cared
me give
about
you some
brain rot.
context.
I could go talk about AI for the next hour, dude. The views will drop off. The Gooners are going to leave right now. The Gooners are like, oh, yeah, how much does it cost for a Mexican maid? How much does it cost for a Filipina maid? $75 a month? You mean I can get laid for $75 a month? I'm going to go get a maid and she's going to have sex with me too. I'll just give her a little extra money. All right.
Before you call your friends back home, because you need to understand what's included in the cheap pay that they say for hiring help here. The person you hire is called a kasambahay, and that's a Tagalog. It's a Filipino term. It literally translates to one who is with you at home, and it covers your general housekeeper, your laundry person, your cook, whoever is doing domestic work in your house on a regular basis. The word already tells you something about our culture. It's not framed as a servant. It's framed as someone who shares the home with you, and that matters. Now, salary. As of early 2026, the government mandated minimum wage for kasambahay in Metro Manila is 7,800 pesos a month. And in the provinces, places like Bacolod, Iloilo, Davao, Cebu, outside the metro, of course, it's lower. You're looking at somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 pesos being the going rate in a lot of provincial areas, depending on experience and what they're being asked to do. And to put that in USD, at current exchange rates, 4,000 pesos is roughly $70. 7,800 pesos is about $835, and that is the full monthly salary.
At Miverta donated $5. LMFAO red exclamation mark. My ears are burning. Not get La Migro over there. Check his papers. Don't worry. I'm a mute recording soda immigrant can't sue ICE in 9th District.
Uh-huh. Thanks, bro.
A part-time house cleaner in the United States coming in twice a week is going to run you $200 to $400 a month minimum, and she's not doing your laundry, cooking your meals, or keeping the place warm while you're out. A full-time live-in housekeeper in the United States starts at $2,500 a month and goes up quickly from there. Here in the Philippines, you can have someone full-time, 6 days a week, in your home handling everything for less than what most Westerners spend on.
What's funny is they have to have videos. There's expats talking about don't sleep with your maid. The first thing Western boomers do when they go over there is get their little maid there for extra cash. Like imagine you make what the boomer and he's clapping your mom's cheeks just so she can earn some extra bread because the minimum wage is 130 and that dude will just drop like a couple hundred extra and that puts you in like a top end like middle class of society immediately. What's your mom do for work? She's a maid for this old Westerner. Cheeks are getting clapped. Cheeks are getting. Do you know that in the Philippines they have a single mother pandemic? Like passport bros and expats are just running amok. They're just pumping and dumping the Garys of the world.
Eating out a few times a month. Now, here's
Crazy.
where I need to pump the brakes before the comment section fills up with people saying, I told you to underpay someone. I'm not saying pay the minimum. I'm saying the minimum exists and it's the floor, not the ceiling. Most expats I know who have great long-term household help pay above the minimum, and usually somewhere between 8,000 and 15,000 pesos, depending on skills and duties. The extra money is nothing to do with
Skills and
USD. If you're
duties.
kasambahay, it's the difference between their family eating well or not. Pay fairly because you'll get loyalty that money genuinely cannot buy, and at the same time, be smart and don't overpay too much because this can actually backfire and create laziness. Now, one thing that surprises a lot of Westerners when they first get here is that having household help is not a rich person thing in the Philippines, because middle-class Filipino families have kasambahay. Regular working couples have kasambahay, and it is deeply embedded in how domestic life works here. And there are real reasons for that. The Philippines has a large working population and a significant portion of families where both parents work long hours. Extended family setups are, of course, common. Grandparents, relatives, multiple generations under one roof, and domestic labor is heavy. Hiring help keeps households functioning. There's also a tradition of domestic work as a form of livelihood, particularly for women from the provinces who come to cities or to wealthier households for employment. It's a legitimate career path that supports entire families back in the provinces. DOLE, which is the Department of Labor and Employment here, estimates there are over 200,000 domestic workers in Metro Manila alone, with around 60% of them living in the homes of their employers. For expats especially, a kasambahay often becomes something you didn't expect. An informal cultural guide, someone who helps you navigate the barangay, explains what's happening during fiestas, helps you. Time is vague and unsatisfying. If you're working remotely or running a business from here, your productive hours go up. You're not losing 90 minutes a day or more to do laundry, sweeping, mopping, dishes, groceries, and that's not a small thing. That's compounded over years into hundreds of hours of your life back. If you're a couple, and I'm going to be real about this one because it hits close to home for some of you, household labor is one of the biggest, most under-discussed sources of friction in relationships, especially
Kako.
when the woman is working as well. Because somehow, even with the two people employed full-time, the cooking and the cleaning and the whose turn is it conversation still lands heavier on one side.
Koi
And you know which
kuras.
side. We all know which side. And having someone handle all of that removes an entire category of low-grade daily resentment from your relationship. Not stress, resentment, because that's what it actually becomes over time. And if you have kids here, a yaya, which is your childcare worker or nanny, is doing something extra beyond babysitting. Your
Yaya.
kids are getting immersed in Filipino language and culture from someone who grew up in it. And that's an education you can't replicate. And if you're retired and you're here for the lifestyle, well, you moved to a tropical country to enjoy it. You didn't move here to spend your mornings scrubbing your own bathroom. Having help means your day starts the way you planned it. Now, there's also a security element that doesn't get talked about enough with this. An occupied home is a less attractive target for opportunistic theft. A kasambahay's presence in the house, especially during the day when many expats are out, is a deterrent. Not foolproof, but real. Okay, now the part your YouTube algorithm loves, the cons. And I'm going to be honest here because that's the whole point of this channel. The first one is privacy. If you're from a Western country and you're used to having your home entirely to yourself, having another person in your space or full-time is, of course, an adjustment. A real one, and there's no way around it. You will need to think about what you're comfortable with, what boundaries matter to you, and whether live in or live out makes more sense for your lifestyle, and we'll also get into that in a minute. Second, you're now an employer. You're in a management role, whether you want to be or not. That means communication, setting expectations, dealing with personality conflicts, navigating language differences. Some people are natural at this. Some people
I'm curious. I'm just curious, right? I gotta try it. Don't sleep. I'm just saying, don't sleep with the Filipina maid. I'm just curious if I type that. Of course, bro. Of course. Oh, we have another one. She got almost 1 million views on that exact thumbnail. Do you see what I'm talking about? Made with benefits. Look at this shit. What the bro? No way. Is this real? Made with benefits in the 7 Filipinas you should impregnate right away. This can't be real.
I recently made a video called 7 Filipinas I Would Avoid Dating. So, this is my follow-up to that video. These are the 7 Filipinas you should be trying to impregnate right away. Maybe not literally, but absolutely figuratively. If you meet any of these Filipina, then you should stop what you're doing and make them your jowa or asawa. Put a ring on it. Put a bun in her oven. Start a family. And take care of her because you don't want her to get away. So, let's get started. Filipina number 1. The no iPhone Filipina. So, if you start dating a Filipina and she has a cheap smartphone and she's not on her phone 24/7 and she only has one Facebook profile and she only takes selfies a few times a week and she doesn't eat or sleep with her phone, and when she wakes up, the first thing she grabs for is your sausage and not her phone, then, guys, you just won the lottery. Stop what you're doing right now. Go meet her parents tomorrow and take them to Jollibee and ask them if you can marry their daughter and then get her pregnant as soon as possible and thank me later. Filipina number 2, the million peso Filipina. This is the Filipina you could trust with 1 million pesos. If you meet a Filipina who never asks you for money or never tells you sub stories about needing money and she seems fairly good at budgeting her money, and then you give her 5,000 pesos and she still got 3,000 pesos a week later, ding 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 ding, stop what you're doing right now. Take her to Boracay and go propose on the beach and then eat a big seafood dinner to celebrate and have some mango cream pie for dessert. And maybe go ahead and have 2 slices of that pie and then go right up in the sunset together. Filipina number 3, the laid-back Filipina. You meet a Filipina and she...
Oh, wait, it gets worse. We haven't seen the comments yet.
I
One
was just
second.
about to say, wait a minute, what the comments?
My Filipina girlfriend has an old iPhone with a crappy camera and has no interest in updating it. She does nothing online other than check the family groups on Facebook. She does talk on the phone a lot, but does not surf the web ever. I guess I lucked out. Need I say more? Shut the f up. Okay, let's continue. I only date Filipinas that physically know I'm coming to the Philippines. Oh, that's psychically? What the fuck? Okay. I can't tell you how many women I've met that within a few minutes of talking or finally meeting, they're asking for money. It's honestly sad. Holy bro, all caps here. My fiance was a virgin at 35. I was beyond shocked. You just can't. Like, men are retarded. She said she was very determined to never be a single mother. She will be 38 in September. We're currently working on our K1 visa and hope she gets it either by the end of this year. Irish looking beautiful as always. A nice one. Miss Irish, your sense of humor cracks me up. Oh, wow. Let me hear it.
Should you hire a Filipina maid? If you're planning to move here in the Philippines, retire here, or you are settling down with a Filipina, this is probably a question you have asked yourself. Because once a week, maybe just to clean the bathroom, mop the floors, do the laundry, and that's it. But if your situation might be completely different, maybe you are retired, maybe you have a large house, maybe you travel often, maybe you have children, or maybe you simply want to spend less time doing chores and more time enjoying life. And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Clearly, might charge somewhere around 600 to 1,200 per day. A full-time live-out helper may earn around 10,000 to 18,000 or more each month. A live-in helper may and could that create problems in your relationship? Let's talk about it. So let's talk about the question that always comes up. If you are married to a Filipina or you are in a serious relationship with a Filipina, is it a good idea to hire a younger Filipina maid? And honestly, I don't think there's one right answer because every relationship is different. I know a lot of Filipinas who doesn't care. They trust their partner. They are confident in the relationship. And for them, a helper is simply a helper. But I also know Filipinas who would feel uncomfortable. And honestly, I don't think that automatically means they are jealous. Sometimes it's simply avoiding unnecessary temptation or protecting the relationship. Just think about it. You're inviting someone into your home. They will probably see you every day. They will know your routines. They may prepare your meals. They will be around when your partner isn't. And whether we like it or not, that's a level of closeness. So if your partner says, I'd rather hire someone older, I don't think that's an unreasonable request. And personally, if choosing an older helper helps your partner feel comfortable and gives both of you a peace of mind, I think that's a small compromise for a much happier relationship.
My God, you are beautiful. Simps, bro. We're fucking cooked. What the bro? Look at this shit. Give us a spin. 2 seconds in the video.
Can you give us a spin?
What are we shopping here for? What the? Do you notice it now?
Yeah.
Do you notice it now? I'm trying to get you to see this shit. This is what the industry, this is what it's really about. Everybody else is bullshitting. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. These dudes are going overseas and they're paying for fucking pussy, dude, and it's mid at best. And they're paying for live-in whores. And then they're giving away all their money and they're getting fleeced.
You're so beautiful. Are you half?
No.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Janelle. I am 20 years old and I am from Daraga Community College po, third year.
Do you think some men hire maids because of the extra benefits?
I don't think so kasi maids are meant for household chores po. So, that's it.
If your boss offered you triple salary but wanted you to share his bedroom, what would you do?
No, I would what do you call this? I would decline the offer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how common do you think it is for maids to end up in a romantic relationship with their bosses?
I guess in 3 po, sa 3 po. Kasi 3.
3.
Yes.
Would you ever date a sugar daddy so you wouldn't have to work anymore?
No.
Can you give us a spin?
Hello.
You're so pretty.
Thank
Please
you.
introduce yourself.
I am Mary.
Jesus Christ. Already, first one is perfect. Perfect for what, bro? I just want my damn
Exactly.
place cleaned well. If they're not accepting the offer, you're not paying enough. I want 18. Look at this. I want 18, bro. I want 18. I want 18. What? That shit's crazy. Sorry, I want 18. That's why I don't fuck with this movement anymore. Once you see it, once you go overseas and you see how simpy they are, they're all sex obsessed, crazed lunatics. They want nothing traditional. They don't give a fuck about planting roots, just pumping bitches left and right. Degenerates, bro. Degenerate. No thanks. Unreal. That's why just go your own way. Don't follow anybody into any. Go your own way, bro. The go your own way crowd is going to win. I guarantee you. Go your own way. Go your own way completely. Fuck the rest of society and their expectations. You choose your own path. End of story. Shout outs to the old heads that had to figure that out after a divorce and their kids getting taken from them. For the young ones, don't follow men into this shit here. Garbage. Unbelievable, bro. Okay, back to real content. I hope the simps that were wanting to see shit about maids now feel a little bit embarrassed. Probably. Mentally, you're a fag. That's what it is. You're a bitch in your mental, how you see yourself. Go pick up the book Psycho-Cybernetics. That's all you need to read. You'll understand exactly what the problem is. You see yourself internally as a bitch. So therefore you behave like a bitch. You wake up and you're a bitch. You go to sleep a bitch. Every decision you make is from the point of a bitch. That's it. No amount of affirmation, no self-help videos, no motivation is going to help you if it has to pass the wall of I'm a bitch. So until you change internally at the deepest level, this goes below your ego. This is your foundational self, your identity. Until your identity on the inside is how you see yourself changes and you're no longer a bitch internally, then you can actually receive information. That's what it
Speaking of, I got that book. I need to read that book again.
is. Internally, you're a pussy, bro. You're internally exactly where you need to be. Your inner identity is aligning with your exact actions. I can tell you right now, who you believe to be on the inside is who you're acting out in the real world. That's it. That's what's stopping you. And who you believe to be is simply something you created based on how you perceived experiences in your life. What that person thought about your haircut, what that girl said to you when you tried to ask her out, where you got berated by your parents for doing something bad, where you tried to do something and embarrass yourself. All this shit, all of that shit helped mold an identity, a belief, a self-belief of who you are and what you're capable of, how you see yourself. And that is what you act out. That's who you are. The reason you haven't progressed, you haven't done shit with your life, nothing's going on with anything, you haven't started anything new, you're not motivated to get up and get after it, brand new day, brand new opportunities, is because you see yourself as a bitch. The way you said it, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do anything? That's your default state in your mind. You're the guy who's got something wrong with him, can't do anything for himself, can't get shit started, and you're acting that shit out. Psycho-Cybernetics, bro, that book changed my life. I recommend every man read that shit.
Perfect.
At Ryan the Eating Warrior donated 5 British pounds and 0 pence. There are so many Filipina SL0P channels. As someone that travels, has a wife that's from the Philippines, this type of stuff drives me up a wall.
It's got to be crazy, right? For the ones that are doing it right, that shit's got to be crazy. They're literally, and then now they bunch you up with all these guys by default. You know, guilty by association. It sucks, yeah.
A damp 911 donated $5. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing changes if nothing changes. All right, let's do Levi Nix. Liberals are begging for forgiveness after this. This should be good.
On September 10th of 2026, we will be at the 1-year anniversary of when Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Yeah, that too.
Rest in power, Charlie Kirk, for all the work you've ever done. Appreciate you, brother. And when that day did happen, boy, I felt a hole in my heart like I had lost a buddy. It was wild. But now these liberals are starting to see the residual damage of mocking him and realizing that they've been brainwashed. And the fact that they think the right and conservatives are evil, it's finally starting to catch up to them, dude.
I used to be a liberal and I hated Charlie Kirk. I never actually watched any of his debates or anything like that. I just saw all the clickbait and these clips of him saying the most horrible things. Until recently when I went to YouTube and I started watching some of his debates in, you know, the full clip, not just that little part where he says something horrible. And I realized that I am a monster.
Oh.
Because he never said anything hateful.
Yep.
Or untoward or disrespectful. All he was a man of opinions, and he disagreed. Straight up. He disagreed with people. That's it.
Yeah. That in today's society is like a mortal sin. People think that you should be assassinated for it. Dude, I don't know about you guys. Let me know how you felt when it happened. But dude, when it happened, it truly terrified me because I speak on a public forum and I was just thinking, am I next? Are people like me next? Are they just going to start, you know, shooting people in the streets? It was crazy to me.
That's it. And people acted like he broke their legs He stole their life savings from them. He took their firstborn fucking child. That's how fucking evil Charlie Kirk was.
Hold on a second, y'all. I'm cooking. Nope, not yet. Not
I
yet.
fell for all the propaganda. I was brainwashed and manipulated into thinking that he was horrible because I was too stupid to look deeper.
Right.
So if you're a f***ing liberal who f***ing hates Charlie Kirk, this is your chance to go from woke to awake.
She did not mention.
Hey, now shout out to this chick for at least knowing. There's a lot of people that have been in this boat of this woman right here. And the thing is what this propaganda does is it really targets younger people that are more impressionable, and it's a lot of the women, especially younger women.
Yeah,
at least for me being in
does.
college, it's easy to convince them of things. They're more gullible. I remember being 22 years old, being a senior in college. I was a super senior. I actually went to college till I was 24 because I was
Stupid.
either way. At the age of 22, 18-year-old freshman girls were coming in, and you could just tell them anything. You could tell them that you're the first girl that I've kissed. This is the first time I've ever done, and they're believing you. It was absolutely insane, the stuff you could get away with. Which is why I think they target that age of women, like 18 to 24. They target them because they know they're more impressionable if they show them certain things, and that they have this moral tie to morality and ethics that they make them believe that they're better than other people, and that the people that they don't agree with should be deemed as completely evil, like Hitler or a fascist or someone that shouldn't even exist. That's the problem these days.
Did it. For the past 3 days, man, I've been sitting around just listening to this guy, Charlie Kirk's message, because every single place that I hear, especially from black people, is that this man was a racist.
No.
There it is.
And I'm putting this on everything, man. You guys need to be ashamed of yourself. To listen to the lies that this man is somehow pushing some racist rhetoric. I heard him say some of the most uplifting things about black people. I listened to countless interviews of friends of his that were black that spoke so highly of this man.
Right.
And they talked about his cause as though it was the coming of Jesus. And
I really do think, and then put a 1 in the chat if you agree, I think in another 10 or 15 years, like Charlie Kirk could have been one of the youngest presidents. I mean, he was what, 33 when he passed? He could have been a 40-year-old president, in my opinion. I don't see why not. He was super smart. He could debate like crazy. He was rooted in logic and religion. So I just don't know what else you would want in a leader.
The more I'm watching this, the more I tend to agree with it. Mm-hmm. This man's message was pure. It was not a message of hate. It was a message of unity, a message of...
Okay, now the oven went off.
You are not a slave anymore. Anything that God put you here on this earth to do, you can do it. He sent so many young black kids to the White House to get the political experience. Man, I think I just barely scratched the surface as to what this guy's purpose was. But I'll say it, man. I said, I think we lost a good one.
Yeah, 100%.
And the fact that he will go down in history as a racist by half of this country, man, I think that it's a shame. I really think it's a shame. I pray for us, and I hope that we heal, man, because the people who push this, the fact that they know that you won't go and check, and they can just say that anybody's racist,
right?
And they know that you are not gonna go and check. They got you, man.
Well, and that's also the problem. I was talking to my buddy about this months ago. The problem is that the people that scream the loudest about their problems and the things that they're upset about are the ones that always get listened to. It's never the people that are doing well, that are thriving in a company. For example, HR is there to protect the company. But most of the time, it's complaints from people that are liberal, left-leaning, or women. Oh, he's doing this to me, or they're upsetting me, or they're making me mad in this way, and he looked at me funny, and I think he's being aggressive towards me. Like, they're all complaining about things that are really kind of mundane and remedial, but if they complain, HR has to do something about it. Like I said, I had a buddy that worked at a company, and one of his VPs was on a hunting trip. And so they have a Zoom call. He hops in on the Zoom call, and he's holding up a buck that he killed on this hunting trip in a Zoom call. Some lady sees it, and she's like, that's appalling. She complains to HR. He gets in a little bit of trouble, but he's fine, though. They go back to the Zoom meeting, and in this Zoom meeting, there's a guy that has taxidermy animals in the back. Ducks, fish, a deer's head. And so later on, that guy with all the taxidermy animals goes to HR. He's like, hey, is this like a problem? Like, should I take down the taxidermy stuff? And she goes, no, well, until someone complains about it, it's not a problem. Like, what? It's the people that complain that are heard? Like, that is such an odd philosophy to me. This is why I don't like HR, which I don't like corporate either.
That Charlie Kirk was murdered, but probably not for the reason you think. I was at work when I first found out. A fellow employee had wandered up to me, cell phone in hand, and asked, did you hear that Charlie Kirk just got assassinated? And I, without even a moment's hesitation, responded, good! That Nazi white supremacist piece of shit.
Whoa.
I had never before witnessed such a perfectly blended expression of disgust, disappointment, sadness, and surprise, all through the window of another man's eyes, or experienced a silence so uncomfortable as the one that followed. And although that look on his face now haunts me more and more with each passing day, at the time, it only made me distrustful and upset. But little did I know that the sentence which followed would end up becoming the most profoundly psychologically impactful question that I've ever been confronted with. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates?
No.
I decided to end the conversation immediately. This man was clearly a lost cause, one of those intellectually dishonest Kool-Aid drinking types who refuses to engage in good faith with any perspective which contradicts their outstandingly narrow and propagandized worldview. And by this man, I mean me. Because I hadn't actually watched any of his debates. I was basing literally every single thing I believe about a human being with thousands of hours worth of publicly available recordings of himself openly expressing his opinions on a small handful of out-of-context clips that had been curated for me by algorithms and media organizations being funded by the political opposition.
Right.
I foamed at the mouth, right along with the rest of those rabid and bloodthirsty dogs, gleefully mocking those who had been saddened by his death and downplaying the atrocity of it all by suggesting that political violence is just an unfortunate yet necessary step toward our coveted socialist revolution. That is, until I began to notice a common thread. The exact same comment being repeated ad nauseum in nearly every single online space. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates? I didn't think much of it at first. Of course right-wingers are all regurgitating the exact same talking point. They're in a cult. They're brainwashed.
Right. The right is a cult, and we're brainwashed. I love it.
Right.
Dude.
Oh, the left, yeah.
It was an ordinary and boring morning on the day I found out that I am a monster. In that moment where my curiosity got the best of me and I decided to click on some random YouTube thumbnail of Charlie Kirk with his goofy and gummy smile in an attempt to reaffirm my preconceived biases. And it was an unusually stressful afternoon on that very same day when I spoke to my father for the first time in years. Despite the fact
this is something that's insane to me, that the left will cut off family members because they don't agree with them. I'll let him get into that spiel, but I've got a whole thing on that.
That he had always loved and supported me unconditionally. And it was a never-ending sleepless night, coming to terms with the fact that literally every single thing I thought I hated about the right, the bigotry, stupidity, violence, vitriol, and narrow-mindedness, was actually just an outward projection of hatred toward my own self. Charlie Kirk is my hero. He opened my eyes to the cruel and manipulative nature of our political media, brought my family back together, and taught me how to love again. And to anyone who takes issue or offense with that, I'm going to do exactly what he would have done, and challenge you to answer a simple, honest, and straightforward question. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates?
And that's what's really sad.
I mean, this dude, hey, I love it. I love it. This is something I've noticed with the left, though. They will cut off family. They will cut off friends. They will divide themselves and isolate themselves so quickly and so staunchly. And they're supposed to be the ones that are the most accepting, right? The left is supposed to be the accepting, understanding, accommodating side of everything. But as soon as somebody doesn't agree with them, they're like, oh, you should not be here. Caitlin Bennett's a great example of that. She'll go to these spaces and she'll talk to these people. And then these people will just want her out so fast. And so she's like, oh, you're trying to get me out of this area? Almost like ICE is trying to deport illegal immigrants. And so she will absolutely cook them for that because it's the same ideology, right? Like, you're going to hate on us for doing it, but then you won't even let me in this space to like talk to you. Or she asks people, hey, I have an illegal immigrant here. You think illegal immigrants they deserve housing? Would you let them move in with you? And they almost always say no. But this is something that, as a conservative guy, I don't cut people off because they have different political beliefs than me, or religious ideologies, or philosophies, or life ideologies. I don't cut people off because they disagree with me. When Cass and I got together, I was a raging atheist and she was a raging Christian. We always were just like, it's okay to disagree, to agree to disagree. Because we knew that in any good relationship, you're going to have certain subjects and topics and things that you talk about that you can't ever come to a common ground that you both agree, but it's okay to agree to disagree. She had her way of thinking, I had my way of thinking, but we loved each other nonetheless. This is why I think our relationship works so well, is because we started disagreeing at a very early state in our relationship, whereas a lot of people are looking for a mirror version of themselves. This is why I came up with the quote, life is a mirror, not a window. Shubin and I should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. Life is a mirror, so you need to look at yourself. And if you can see the things that you believe, that's good. But also know that there's certain things that you don't believe, and it's okay that other people don't believe them. But if you go through your life thinking that everybody needs to agree with you, it's going to be very isolating. Or if you think every woman that you date or the person that you're with needs to agree with everything that you agree with, bro, it's going to be very hard to date. It's going to be very hard to be with anybody because it's almost impossible to find somebody that believes in everything you believe in. Even my best friends that I play Call of Duty with all the time, they don't agree with I got a buddy who's a raging Catholic. I got another guy that doesn't want kids. He's an atheist. I got another guy that's religious who's a Christian. Like, we're all kind of all over the place, but we all still just get along. That's because I think we're all rooted in some bit of conservative efforts where we're like, hey, dude, it's cool if you don't agree with me. It's fine. Like, I'm fine with that. But the liberals will cut their families off. They'll cut their dad off, not talk to their parents for years. It's insane to me.
Leaving the left even then.
Kirk got shot in the neck. That was the last bastion. I can't be a liberal no more. You see the comments? I hope the gun is okay. The same people asking for moral decency. I cannot in good faith align myself with you guys anymore.
I have officially left the Democratic Party a few days ago. The reason I did it was because I cannot be linked and affiliated with a party that has members in it that would do exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk.
This person says, I'm leaving the Democratic Party as of today. Let's go Trump. Praise the Lord. I literally called this in my last video. I said it is going to take, unfortunately, Charlie Kirk's assassination for people to wake up from the Democratic Party. And if you read this comment section, it is full of Democrats saying the exact same thing, being lifelong Democrats, leaving the Democratic Party as of today. If you are rejoicing at someone's demise, literally them being unalived, you're the issue. And
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Because fascism is unaliving people because they don't believe in the same political ideology that you believe in. And that's exactly what they did to Charlie Kirk. It's absolutely brutal. I can't stand it. It was really heartbreaking that day. And I did a whole video on this. Like, we did multiple videos on this. And it was kind of scary for me because I was like, man, this is as a guy who does political commentary, or not political commentary all the time, but a guy that has very strong beliefs. Like, you almost feel like a target's on your back. And September 10th would be 1 year from then, and we'll definitely do a video following up. But I don't know, that came up on my feed, and I was like, man, maybe we should talk about this. Maybe this is something we should talk about. So let's go to the oldest Charlie Kirk video I did, and we'll go over some of the comments on that one. This was, it was 10 months ago. It was 10 months ago. All right, let's go over some of these comments. Someone said they wanted to bury a body, instead they planted a seed. Oh, that's so good. I recently got called a racist because I was wearing a MAGA hat. I applaud this young woman and her courage. We are all Charlie Kirk now. I agree on passing a law that prohibits fake news from feeding the American people constant lies. There's a reason dirty politicians got rid of that one that existed. It legally allows them to lie and distort everything. Levi, I was very happy to listen to you speak about Charlie. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm only in my early 40s and remember when educators taught functional subjects that had tangible benefit for the children. Those same teachers also didn't talk about their personal lives or politics. It was lovely. Politics ruin everything. I agree. Nowadays, dude, in the classroom, they're talking about politics. What? Why? Why does your religious, political, or sexual identity or ideology need to be in a classroom? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. None of that stuff. Teach history. Mrs. Harris, teach algebra. You know what I mean? Miss Bratcher, come on. TikTok was created to use American division to divide us further. It isn't like YouTube. It is trash. Charlie Kirk was a righteous man, a patriot with strong convictions, sound principles, and an uncommon valor that is now an icon immortalized forever. They just silenced his voice, not his ideas or spirit. We are all Charlie Kirk now. They have no idea what they have done. A lot of Charlie Kirk were born that day, all over the world, here in Italy as well. Rest in peace to a warrior. Jesus is king. In school, high school, etc., I was more left-leaning. But it's because in school we were taught that the Democrats stood for what we would call conservative views today. Once I saw that it was a lie, I quickly backed out. We are all Charlie Kirk. Yes, it's dangerous to speak out. I've openly said the truth and had friends nervously look around and hush me. I will stay kind and loving, but never again be silenced. They want depopulation. Bill Gates is a large investor in depopulation. He talks about it openly. Modern-day JFK, the powers that be, were hoping that sparked all chaos. I am more conservative than Charlie Kirk, and I was a former liberal. Rest in power. Yeah, you never heard that one before? I agree. They throw these words around so much, like Nazi and fascist. I got called a Nazi for disagreeing with someone. Like, this is insane. You get called a Nazi for disagreeing with somebody? World of Color. I want to shout out to this chick right here. She has a massive channel. She watches a lot of videos and comments on every single one. So, World of Color, thank you so much. I know you didn't want to talk about this initially. I know how it feels to be a creator who's afraid to speak out. I am one of those creators. Thank you so much for making the decision to talk about this. You're amazing. Enough is enough. I'm 61 years old from the Netherlands, so sorry for us all. The problem is that we've tolerated this behavior for too long without consequences. Charlie was an amazing man, husband, and father. You will be missed more than you ever thought possible. The microphone is more powerful than the rifle. Love that one. Love that one. Which is why I choose to keep speaking about the things I truly, truly believe in. Because I feel like the second we stop talking about these things is the second things get reverted back, which is why I call out the hypocrisy of modern dating, political views, modern pop culture. This is the reason why I talk about this stuff, because it's like, if I don't talk about it, somebody's going to talk about it. So I might as well try to cultivate a community of people that are rooted in logic and based. I'm not saying you got to be religious. I'm not saying, oh, if you watch my channel, you better be Christian. Bro, I don't care. If you want to pledge your allegiance to the flying spaghetti monster and be Pastafarian, cool, dude, go for it. I don't care. Just don't hurt people. Don't harm children. Don't hurt people. Try to spread joy, laughter, things like that. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. Ain't that right, Lux? You want some treats today? Okay. He was asleep in the other video. Here, since you look tired, I'll bring them to you, okay? Wait. Bring. You'll see the toes? Ooh, man. Got the crusties out. I don't know about you guys. I have the ugliest toes ever, dude. My middle toe is straight up crooked and broken. Never broke it. Both of them are broken. I have hobbit feet. They're very hairy as well. It's pretty gross. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to give you guys a crazy visual there. Don't know how I got to that talking point, but here we are, dude. Here we freaking are. But yeah, man, this, like I said, this just came up on my feed, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna talk about this today. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace.
Alright, the last one. Erasing this Ellen DeGeneres interview from the internet right now.
Ellen DeGeneres is fighting with her troll ears and goblin eyes to keep these videos from the internet, but luckily people like me are always going to keep covering them. And don't forget, stick around to the end. I'm going to cover some comments from a previous video, so you might be featured. And if you do enjoy the content, please subscribe. That's all I ask for. Let's get off into it.
Do you remember the time Ellen DeGeneres pushed Sandra Bullock to reveal a horrifying high-end beauty trend?
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. That how many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, and, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes. The
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what it is.
The exploitation of third world country kids. This is truly sad. And she's like, the kid's far, far away, so my morality isn't connected to it because he lives far away and I don't know him. It's some kid in Cambodia.
Okay.
Who comes up with this?
I don't think, and it's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like,
who thinks of collecting it and having it for, we'll do something with this someday.
And why didn't we come up with that?
Right.
If you've seen this, you're one of the lucky ones, because they're removing every trace of this story from the internet. For instance, did you know the interview was taken down and re-uploaded in 2023? But this time, they just removed the part where Sandra Bullock talked about her new skincare routine. Viewers even pointed it out in
Probably because Ellen DeGeneres said foreskin. If she would have just kept it at maybe like some back flesh, they would have been fine.
the comments.
Full interview. Where's the part of it's a piece of skin from a young person far away? All afterly, too honestly for the citizens. So they cut off part of where she admits to get the penis facial done and re-uploaded the video. Not sus at all. This is not the full interview. They're trying to rewrite history by cutting out the portion regarding Sandra's facial.
It's almost like they don't want people digging too deeply into this. And they weren't the only ones. Around the same time, another A-list actress, Cate Blanchett, openly talked about getting a penis facial. You won't find it...
Okay, you guys are lying. It's a wiener facial? God.
In her magazine because, according to Vice, it was removed almost instantly. Then a parenting website called Babbel tried to find out where these foreskins were coming from. Their article discussed reports that hospitals in countries like South Korea are selling all this human tissue. Now, interestingly, Babbel was owned by Disney, and Disney shut down Babbel the same year they released the article about this industry. Now, people believe that cannot be a coincidence. They think soon the clips about this story will be silently removed from all websites because they don't want us to remember the names of billionaires who promoted this freaky industry.
So this is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'd do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve.
Because it's blood.
So this is made from growth hormones of human...
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin.
Bro, they really ain't lying. Like, this is for real, though, my dildo. This is crazy work. You know what else is crazy work? The fact that you guys haven't downloaded Free Cash. It's super simple. Scan that QR code, click the link in the description, and I'll give you $10 right now. Right now, we're one of the top leading people that have had more people sign up for Free Cash. So help me be numero uno by signing up. Even if you don't play, it's super simple. I just want to show them that your boys got it and my audience is loyal. So I appreciate you guys. But if you look here, the average time to earn your first cash, 17 minutes, $26. Average withdrawal yesterday. So you can literally get in there, make some easy money. It's mobile games, and I'll get you halfway there with $10. You sign up now, you get $10. It's super simple. You can play these on your freaking phone while you're just sitting at the house, so it's not hard like some of these foreskin jokes might be. Let's get back off into this.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Moving on, let's talk about another wild story. Apple is introducing a new leasing program so you can just pretend to own your next MacBook or iPhone. It's called Apple Upgrade, and it's basically a subscription program, meaning you'll be making smaller monthly payments to rent your phone or your next MacBook. And here's the part they really don't want to admit. They're introducing this program because they're ready to drastically raise the prices of their products in the coming years, which means most people will not be able to afford them, and this kind of subscription will be their only option. It's pretty obvious they're getting us used to their version of the world, a world where you'll own nothing and be happy. But in this case, your happiness only lasts as long as you have money to subscribe. One failed payment and you might lose your phone for good.
I just learned that there's people in Apple debt. That's horrible. Like, if too many of the apple.com/bill charges don't go through, you won't lose access to the subscription. They'll just brick your phone. They won't let you buy new apps. They won't let you update your apps. They won't even let you install free apps until you sign in and update that payment method. And then once you sign in, they drain that money out. I shouldn't be surprised because this is very on brand for Apple. But not being able to update apps, that's crazy.
Since we're talking about Apple, do you know we might not have ChatGPT around if not for Steve Jobs? His speeches from the early 1980s are shocking people because his version of AI sounds exactly like the AI agents we have today.
You know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years? You know, Aristotle. And I read this. I became immensely jealous. And I think I would have enjoyed that a great deal. And through the miracle of the printed page, I can at least read what Aristotle wrote without an intermediary. And maybe if there's a professor, they can add to that. But at least I can go directly to the source material. And that is, of course, the foundation upon which our Western civilization is built. But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool of a new kind, of an interactive kind. And so my hope is someday, when the next Aristotle is alive, we can capture the underlying worldview of that Aristotle in a computer. And someday, some student will be able to not only read the words Aristotle wrote, but ask Aristotle a question.
Is that why Steve Jobs ain't with us anymore? You know what I mean? He was too far ahead of his time. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I probably use ChatGPT a little too much. I use ChatGPT just a little too tad much. I really like it. And I use it for a lot of things. I don't think I have AI psychosis yet. Some people are suffering from AI psychosis. I don't know how we went from Ellen DeGenerate to this. I don't watch these videos beforehand, but I guess we're here now.
Seen Ferraris, Lamborghinis, or McLarens submerged underwater during severe storms? Did you know some people intentionally park those cars in flooded areas to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars?
The flood one is the most common. If there is a flooded area, all kind of cars get showed up and parked there so they can get flooded and collect an insurance and get done. And in Florida, it is like a national pastime to like, where's the hurricane going to hit? Let's park it on the street. You know, that is a thing, 1000%.
Because I've seen photos of these like really nice cars just in the middle of like the water, or like something happens, and I'm usually thinking, oh man, that's unfortunate. So you're saying that they're looking for
$300,000 upside down, you're going to do it. The most famous one is the Bugatti Veyron that went to the lake. It's like the original viral video. You remember seeing it where the guy said it was a seagull, and then he just happened to be getting filmed by people going, oh my God, that's a Bugatti Veyron. And it just splashes into the ocean. It's one of the most famous insurance frauds ever. And this guy went to jail briefly for it because he was just got a little tight on money and he just wanted to collect insurance on his Bugatti. And happened to be in Florida. I think that it was Galveston, Texas. It was still Florida adjacent, close enough. And this guy just splashed it in there. So it's
$1 million car, bruh.
It is rampant. It's also frustrating because insurance rates on cars are so high now.
A guy just showed how you can make electricity from trash at home. And now people are worried for his...
This dude jumping all over the place, bruh. This guy's more ADHD than me.
Safety. Let me show you what he just exposed.
This is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. You could turn regular household waste like cardboard and paper and stuff
I
like
thought
that
he was going to say that's a dookie brick. I'd say, bro, not the dookie brick.
into fuel pucks, and then turn that fuel into electricity and space heating and hot water, all from trash. First things first, you want to get like a paper shredder or something. Now look folks, this isn't rocket science. This is essentially on a small scale what your municipality does to make electricity, or at least some extra. Now you're gonna wait until you have a decent amount of this stuff. It adds up quick because you don't realize it, but most of the stuff usually just ends up in your recycling. Once you have enough of it, you want to take a bucket of hot water, dump it all in there, and after it sits for a while, stir it up. This turns it into paper pulp. Now you dump that pulp out. And this is the sloppy mush you're left over with. So we're going to take all this crap, stick it into our Piggy Power fuel press. Doesn't look like much, but guess what? It gets the job done. So, without further ado, I'll see if I can do this one-handed. Oh yeah, no shame, folks.
Looks like
no shame.
diarrhea.
You want to wring it out with your hands. Now look, I get it. It's not for everybody. But hey, being able to turn trash into fuel, pretty damn cool.
I mean, if you're living like...
You get the idea. Load this up.
Out in the sticks or something?
Now all you're going to do is take that, press out the water. Then you have a nice little puck. Ready? Not bad. There's a reason I make them small. They're less prone to mold and they dry a whole hell of a lot faster than some of those other things you get from China. So this thing, believe it or not, will burn for around an hour. 1 cube. Either you could use it as a fire starter or just fuel on its own once it's dry. Here's a whole bunch of other ones I've made. And they're solid. This is a dry one I made. I'm pressing on this thing. It's hard as a rock. Once it dries, it basically turns into a solid puck of paper. Like I split it a little bit, but I'm really pressing on it. Look at that. A little bit. Not bad though.
T-Pain just saved himself $30 million. The rapper, singer, producer explains the benefit of purchasing an older used private jet instead of a brand new one.
Bro, this dude is the most ADHD YouTuber I've ever seen. We're jumping around like crazy right now.
You know, craziest thing? This plane costs $200,000 less than the Koenigsegg. This plane costs less than one of my cars. Relatively, planes are cheap. Because when you think of planes, you're like, that's got to be $100 million. Now, let me tell you something. I was trying to get a 2025 joint, then that's exactly the prices you think in planes are. That's exactly what it is. This is 2001. Now, 2025 of this plane is $30 million more than the 2001. But it is literally the exact same plane. They didn't change. The only thing they changed is like there's USB-Cs instead of USBs, USB-A. The lights are daylight colored instead of tungsten. Like, everything's the same, bro. And they were trying to, like, sell me on a new joint. I'm like, well, what's the difference? And when they started telling me the difference, I'm like, nigga, I'm going pre-owned. I'm going pre-owned.
That was the most random YouTube video I think I've ever reacted to. I thought we were really going to be digging into this Ellen DeGeneres stuff. I really did. Like, this dude threw me for a loop. I thought we were going to do more of the wiener facials. Golly. Okay, well, we are just, that is, like I said, that is the most random video I've watched in a long time. Here we go. Ellen shares her Kind Science skincare routine. What is this?
Hi, everybody. I just got back from seeing some gorillas. I'm here in Rwanda, which is a place that is magnificent. I keep telling everybody it must be a bucket list. You must come to Rwanda. You must see the gorillas. So anyway,
I don't have money to go to Rwanda. I'm just trying to shit about a Honda. You know what I mean?
Just got back. I'm going to wash my face, and apparently...
I'm sorry, but I don't even want to know your skincare routine. You look like you're a dry-aged tomato that's been left out in the sun.
People are confused on how to wash your face. So please, step one.
Imagine being her partner and having to be like, you want me to record this, honey? Okay.
Wash your hands. Make sure they're clean, which they already are. Okay. Then I'm going to use a little bit of the Gentle Cleanser. You don't need much. Maybe the size of a dime or possibly a nickel. Okay? Wash my face like this.
It don't look like it's working, Ellen. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Wash my face with the Gentle Cleanser.
Your neck is
But I like to
wrinkly.
do
Your
that.
face is beat to
Make
schmithers.
sure I'm extra clean. A little bit of the
Doing it again?
micro exfoliant. Maybe
Is this your
that
company?
much. The size of a baby caterpillar. Now, what I would normally do
Size of a baby Cambodian foreskin.
is leave it on.
I'm sorry, dude, and I hate to be this way. I really do. But white women aged like yogurt left out in the desert, bro. Shots fired! She is so wrinkly. Why would anybody take her skincare advice? Why would anybody take her advice, bro? And it seems like, oh, this is her brand. That's why. This is her brand. No duh, it's her brand. Come on, bro. Duh, it's her brand. Who would have thought? Kind Science. What are we only doing kids that are like 13 now instead of 8 years old? You know? That's the whole messed up thing for me, dude. Is how are they farming this stuff? How are they getting this stuff? Are they going to these third world countries and finding kids? Are they at the hospital just waiting for kids to get their foreskins chopped off? And they're saying, you know what? We want that. How much you want for it? What doctor is selling this stuff? How do you even acquire such things? Who came up with this idea? Think about the guy that had to figure this out. Because I almost bet you it was the guy that figured it out. What are you testing? What are you going through? Where'd you get this idea? I understand the whole concept of like blood transfusions and things like that and using other people's blood. I mean, people that have, what is it, kidney disease that have to be on dialysis, or is it your liver? Might be kidneys. People that drink too much, you know. Maybe it's liver disease. I don't know. I'm stupid. Either way. Because Cass was a dialysis nurse and you're basically taking good blood, rinsing out their bad blood, and helping them out. I kind of get that. But foreskin of a kid? Where y'all even get this stuff? This is crazy work. Let's pull up a video from the other day and let's go through some comments and see who's going to be featured today. Who's going to be featured today on today's vid? All right, we're going to do the female researchers are starting to see the damage, starting to see the damage. The fish are doing research on fish activities and they found nothing wrong with the fish. In related news, fishermen think otherwise. Women and accountability, two things that'll never meet, like oil and water. As an SA assault victim of two women from childhood, What about all those female teachers that have been caught for the last 5 years with underage? Ooh. Tired of hearing about abuse towards women when they only get slaps on the hand for abusing boys. This is very true. Men are becoming more right-wing. Well, yeah, where else are they going to go? Exactly. I don't approach women at this point, so to avoid possibly being accused of harassment. I don't care who the woman is. I'm a veteran. I was essayed by a woman when I was in the military. No one gave an F about me because I'm a man. Brutal, bro. Thank God I found my wife 32 years ago. I can't imagine going through this. I pity young men these days, and I pity the women who went along with this. Dude, I agree. I agree. I'm so glad I found Cass. And I found Cass when I was a nobody, bro. I was making like $200 a month. So I'm blessed to have a woman that didn't care. She didn't care about how much I made. She cared about who I was. And this is, I always say this. You got to find a woman who falls in love with who you are, not what you are. Who you are, there's no monetary value tied to that. But what you are, there's a monetary value tied to that. What do you do for a living? Are you a lawyer, a doctor? Only 55% of people stayed home during COVID. Where did those people think the food and electricity were coming from? These women really needed to research to find out what we've been knowing and telling them for years. They're really just handing out diplomas. That's so true, bro. I've been saying this for years. I believe Me Too was just a scam. There have been many women who have lied about a man assaulting them for revenge because he dropped the nut. Her side of the story, her lies, then the truth. Or his side of the story, her lies. Men are literally deciding not to have relationships, and they're upset. They still have no issues telling women relationships aren't necessary. These to say ignorance is bliss, but they all seem pretty pissed off. When that chick said something about enjoying the experience of heartbreak because it gave her a, quote, in-depth of feeling, it reminds me of watching my mother drink herself drunk every night watching emotional programs because she enjoyed getting angry at things or getting sad at things. She enjoyed feeling those emotions. Kind of like how some people enjoy adrenaline junkie stuff. I mean, please, no more episodes of the siren call of the... Oh my God, you guys are crazy, bro. I don't want to disturb him because he seems like he's sleeping pretty hard. So I'll just let him be. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace.
That was something.